Wrath, Aeon of Ruin. I'm very conflicted about this game. It should be right up my alley and frankly it mostly even is, but there are some really weird design decisions here that I feel kinda ruin the experience. I'm jumping ahead of myself though. Let's start with the good. About the good. Excellent core gunplay. All the weapons feel good and punchy, they have alternate firing modes and everything is just really useful in the correct situation. The arsenal is very standard though. The most curious of the bunch might be an real bias rifle turned into the high damaging grenade launcher with a nearly non-existent splash damage. It's simple, but it fits in the Quake-inspired gameplay perfectly, and since the Quake's fast weapon switching is still intact, you can come up with some nice combos if you want to optimize your gameplay. The only thing missing is a railgun, which would be very useful considering the scale of the game's levels. Really good movement system. The blade dashing has some depth to it, and thanks to the Quake's bunny hopping you can maintain the speed you gain while time jumps. It helps exploration a lot, and the level design doesn't forget about the movement system either, so it fits into the design really well. Generally nice atmosphere and world building. Mostly well thought out bestiary with all the FPS bases covered. The enemies can challenge you if combined well, and the game does a good job of using them to keep you on your toes. One really good, The Gardens, and the one absolutely excellent map, The Prairie Man. What a journey. Now about the bad. Mostly terrible pacing, except the word prairie, which interestingly enough avoids almost every single issue that follows. The maps are big, way too big. You get around 400 baddies to shoot per level. Half of that feels like padding, and the gameplay very rarely shifts gears. There's just no arc to it, so to speak. You never really get to the lowest of the highs. It always stays in the middle where your skills aren't pushed to the limit, but the enemies still demand most of your attention, so you never really get to traditional incidental encounters, mindless moving south back between the more demanding encounters. But the combat never really ramps up either. After a while, this makes the game feel monotonous and exhausting. Mediocre to bad level design. The game employs a hub system much like Arcane Dimensions, with the added extra of never locking you out of exploring any of the maps even after completion, but shockingly the devs never do anything special with this concept. I really expected something like Turok or Hexen, where you're constantly encouraged to jump back and forth between levels, exploring more and more and occasionally unlocking new sections even, but nope, nothing like that. Fairly awful encounter design. The biggest issue is the Wrath is pretty much Door Combat the video game, where enemies spawn in the way that they lock out you from the area, where the encounter is supposed to take place in, so you just ended up killing most of the monsters from your doorway. Limited saving. This one hurts the most, because I love limited saving and the intention it creates in general, but here's just executed badly. On a psychological level it's fine because you always have plenty of soul tethers, save tokens, to spare, but they are also just rare enough that in the back of your head you're like, oh well, it would really bad if I ran out of those. And to really show you the meaning of the wasted potential, a soul tether is literally just a quick save, meaning you don't get a reusable save point by dropping one, they never refresh, they aren't the mobile Resident Evil save rooms that they really should be. Even the shrines, autosave points, do not refresh, even though a lot of them you'll encounter a bunch of times before completing a map. It's just baffling. The point of the save system like this should be to strategically plan and create your save points on the map instead of just limiting your saves like if it was in Dekintana. Maybe it's Dekintana? Overall, what's fascinating about Wrath is that really most of the mistakes here are small when viewed individually, but the game is designed in a way that almost every single flaw makes the other flaws more serious. For example, the fact that the enemy encounters are badly thought out makes the pacing, the level design and the save system worse too, and as a result the game kinda falls apart. But wait, there's more. With all that said, Rust does have a lot of potential and no amount of delays and mismanagement could change that. The issues the game has, while significant, are also absolutely flexible, and since the core combat and movement mechanics work really well, it can even end up being good. This is if ever gets released. If you're desperate for another retro shooter, you really shouldn't be, there's a lot of them, and you really like Quake, then I guess you can buy this during a deep sale, 75% off. I certainly don't feel ripped off by getting a humble choice. At full price though, not in a million years.